Khirbat al-Minya is an Umayyad-built palace in the eastern Galilee, Israel, located about 200 meters west of the northern end of Lake Tiberias. It was erected as a qasr complex, with a palace, mosque, and bath built by a single patron. The site is the only Umayyad ruin in Israeli territory with remains above the ground and features one of the earliest mosques in Palestine. History. Construction. Khirbat al-Minya was likely built during the reign of the Umayyad Caliph al-Walid I, and an inscription on a stone found at the site mentions his name. The supposed patron of the palace was al-Walid's son, Umar ibn al-Walid, who served as the governor of Tiberias during his father's reign, but fell out of favor when his uncle Sulayman ibn Abd al-Malik assumed the role of caliph. This makes the palace's mosque one of the earliest to be built in Palestine. Khirbat al-Minya served a number of purposes, including as local administrative center for a subregion of the Jindal-Urdun and as a contact point for Umar and local Arab tribes. It also could have served as a caravanserai for merchants traveling along the Sea of Galilee northeast from the lakeshore to the coast. Another purpose of Khirbat al-Minya was a winter retreat for the governor of Tiberias, or an alternative for the traditional summer retreat for the governorate basin. Khirbat al-Minya was abandoned at an uncertain date, but was later temporarily resettled. There is evidence that the palace was in use until at least the end of the Umayyad period in 750 CE. A strong earthquake hit the region, probably in the 749 Galilee earthquake. This damaged the building, causing a rift to run through the eastern wing, going straight through the mosque's mihrab. The damage in the niche were never repaired. It thus remains uncertain whether the palace was ever finished. Fallen debris from the earthquake was discovered in the 20th century in situ on the floor tiles of the main entry. The unused raw materials of a mosaic builder were found in the antechamber of the mosque. Moreover, based on the stratification established in the western part of the site and the discovery of Mamluk pottery in 1959, the palace was settled again during the late Mamluk period. It is likely that the building was used as a khan in this period, due to its position at a crossroad between the main Damascus-Cairo route and a secondary route to Safad via Khan Jub Yusuf. A Khan al-Minya was constructed 300 meters due north of the palace by Saif al-Din Tankis, the Mamluk governor of Syria. During the reign of al-Nazir Muhammad, parts of Khirbat al-Minya might have been used as building material for the new Khan. Baked bricks and a marble capital found during excavations of the Khan were assumed to be taken from the palace. Parts of the ruin were used as a water reservoir, and later a large brick oven was built in the south wing and used to process sugarcane from nearby plantations. In the 19th century, locals built huts on the rubble heaps. Modern rediscovery. In the second half of the 19th century, Charles William Wilson and other European travelers discovered ancient ruins among the huts of a local fellow settlement. Some thought it to be Capernaum, where according to the New Testament Jesus had taught at the local synagogue. This was likely an argument for the purchase of the area along with nearby Tel El-Arim by the Deutsche Verein vom Heiligen Land, a Catholic society from Germany, in 1895. After the true Capernaum synagogue was discovered in 1904, Andreas Everestus Mader, an archaeologist and Salvatorian pater, conducted exploratory excavations at the ruin and its environments on behalf of the Gauss Society in 1911-4, and again in 1931. Identifying a large quadratic structure with outer walls and corner towers. He thought it to be a Roman forticastrum. This was corrected by further work by Alphonse Maria Schneider and Oswald Partridge Regnard in 1932-9. The outbreak of World War II terminated German archaeological work in Palestine. At that point, Schneider and Patron had excavated about half of the palace and published some of the findings. By 1937, they had uncovered the mosque and it had become obvious that the building was an early Islamic palace. The findings were evenly distributed between the Museum für Islamische Kunst at Berlin and the Palestine Archaeological Museum in Jerusalem. Whilst most of the findings left in Palestine have today been lost, the Berlin pieces remain in the care of the Prussian Cultural Heritage Foundation, and some of them are exhibited in the museum's permanent exhibition. The notes and drawings from the excavations are likewise kept in Berlin and have been the subject of recent studies by archaeologists from the universities of Berlin and Bamberg. During July-August 1959, the western section of the palace was excavated by a grabber in collaboration with the Israel Antiquities Authority. In 1960, the site was excavated by an Israeli-American expedition, intending to refine the chronology and the plan of the palace. Several rescue digs were later conducted by the Israeli Antiquities Authority in the environments of the palace, revealing a bath from late antiquity, early Islamic times, a medieval caravanserai and the remains of a medieval settlement between the palace and the lake. With the rapprochement between Israel and Germany in the 1960s, the Verein was reinstated as owner but handed over its rights to the palace itself to the Israel Nature and Parks Authority, which awarded the area protected status as a listed monument and has since been responsible for the palace's upkeep. In 2000, it was proposed that Khirbat al-Minya should become a World Heritage Site. In 2001, a study by the Getty Conservation Institute found severe structural damage to the ruin caused by the climate and by vegetation. A lack of funds has since prevented countermeasures as well as investment in making the area more accessible to visitors. Architecture. The Palace of Khirbat al-Minya is contained within an irregular rectangular enclosure oriented north-south, facing the four cardinal points. Like other Umayyad palaces, it has round towers at its corners and semicircular towers in the middle of each wall except the eastern wall where a monumental entrance was located. The main gate in the middle of the eastern wall is formed by two projecting half-round towers separated by the arch of the gateway. The center of the structure is occupied by a colonnaded courtyard with twin staircases giving access to an upper floor level. The rooms which surrounded the courtyard differ in size and arrangement and included a mosque, numerous rooms with mosaics, and a throne room. The mosque is located in the southeastern corner and is divided into 12 bays supported on piers. Next to the mosque is a triple-aisled basilica hall. Like other Umayyad desert country palaces, such as Qasr al-Hir al-Gharbi in the Syrian desert and Khirbat al-Mafia near Jericho, Khirbat al-Minya followed the Umayyad model of a 5-room bayt flanking the basilica hall. To the north of the residential quarters, the building is constructed of finely dressed limestone blocks laid in regular courses with a lower course of black basalt stones. The mosque had a simple decoration, but the domed gateway chamber and the southern rooms were richly decorated. The top of the walls were decorated with large stepped merlons and the interior was decorated with a variety of glass and stone mosaics. Marble panels covered the dados of the walls and stone mosaics combined with glass cubes were set in geometric carpet-like patterns on the floors of the 5 southern rooms. A well-preserved floor mosaic has been discovered in the western part of the palace. Based on the foundations of the gatehouse, parts of the palace were at least 15 meters high. Today, the Israel Nature and Park Authority has erected a sign at the site which states that the protected monument was an early Islamic palace built by al-Walid I or al-Walid II. Its unique status as the only Umayyad-built palace with remains above the ground in Israel has resulted in efforts to maintain and restore the ruins and to make them more accessible to visitors. In 2012, the Institute für Vor- und Frühgeschichte of the University of Mainz, in cooperation with the Deutsche Verein vom Heiligen Land, presented a plan to the Israeli authorities. A guide was published, and with financial support from the German Foreign Ministry, the university is currently working with the National Park Authority and the Israel Antiques Authority to protect the masonry from further damage. Bibliography.